All right, guys, this is two-way tables, learning target 2 in integrated math 1B. I'm going to try to teach you the gist of the whole target in, well, we'll see how long it takes me. Hopefully only 5 minutes or so. To begin with, you do have to know some definitions. Two-way tables are used to collect data and organize the data. As you see here, we surveyed people. And some of them have pets, some of them don't have pets, right? Some of them answered yes, some of them answered no. And then you also ask them if they have a job, which could be kind of rude if you ask it in the right way, wrong way, I mean. But yeah, yes or no, do you have a job? So you're going to categorize both of these variables kind of on the same two-way table here. So let's start by defining these numbers in the middle. Basically your data numbers. These are called your joint frequencies. Okay, those are the ones that are related to both categories. For example, 74 people, yes, have a pet and yes, have a job, right? Kind of like a multiplication table, you follow the square. So 74 people said, yes, I have a job, and yes, I have a pet. These are called your joint frequencies, right? So now let's see how many people said, no, I don't have a pet, but also no, I don't have a job. So 32 people don't have a pet, don't have a job. Then we have 13 people who don't have a pet, but they do have a job. And then we have 153 people that have a pet, but no job. Right? So those are called your joint frequencies. Those are in the center. I'll let you guys write that down. Next, we need to calculate what's called our marginal frequencies. I like to just call them the totals. Right, so we're going to have to add a whole nother kind of row and column here for what we call the totals. Total there, and we'll add the totals here. Total. Okay. Now these totals, they're called our marginal frequencies. I'm getting my calculator ready here. So how many total people said yes, they have a job? You would have to add them up all the way across here. So 74 plus 13 is 87 total people have a job. 87. How many total people don't have a job? You would add 153 plus 32. 153 plus 32 equals, we get 185. So your totals, depending on the category, we're talking about job, you add them straight across, right? So total people with a job is 87. Total people without a job is 185. Hopefully these people aren't adults, right? I hope adults have jobs, but tough times. Now let's go over to pets. The total for pets. How many total said yes, they have a pet? You would add directly down. So that would be 74 plus 153 equals 227 people have pets. A lot of people have pets. How many people said no, they don't have a pet? That would be this column. So 13 plus 32 is 45 people do not have a pet. Let me write 45. So these numbers, these four totals, according to each category, yes or no, those are called your marginal frequencies. Marginal frequencies. MFs, right there, MFs. And then there's one more number, which is when you add 87 plus 185, or if you add 227 plus 45, you get what's called your total frequency. Basically, the total number of people you survey. So 87 plus 185, that gives me 272 people. right? That is called your total frequency. I'm just going to abbreviate. Okay, so let's get going here on some of these questions. How many people were surveyed? Number one, we just answered that, right? That's that number, 272. Okay, make some room here. Next thing they're going to ask is how many people have a job? So we have to go to the category job, right? How many people have a job? That means they answered yes. And we go all the way across to the total. 87 total people have a job. 87. Percents are interesting, guys. You have to find, the way I do percents is I find the part of the whole. So what are they asking us to find? Like, what number out of what number? This ends up being a fraction, right? I don't know, like 1/2, that equals 0.5, which equals 50%, right? So that's kind of what we're doing with percents here, the part of the whole. So now let's see what the part and the whole are that they're asking. So first of all, let's read this very carefully. Usually what comes up first, at least my experience is, the first thing that comes up is usually the whole amount. So let me read this. What percent of people said no to pet? So of people, that is our whole amount. So of people, if it's saying of people, that's talking about everybody. Of people means out of everybody, which is 272 people. So our whole amount would be 272, right? 272 is our whole amount, or out of all people. So out of all people, how many said no to pet? Well, no to pet, let me see, no to pet. That's our part, no to pet. Go to pet, find no, all the way down, that would be 45. That's the part. So 45 people out of everybody said no to pet. So if we divide this, literally we just write it in the calculator. 45 divided by 272, that equals 0.165, and it goes longer. But we're going to round this to the nearest whole percent, meaning the hundredths place. Now, does 5 round 6 up, or does it leave it at 5, right? I always remember 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. So 5 or more, meaning I need to raise the score. So it's going to actually round up to 0.17, which as a percent, if we move our twice to the right, it just becomes 17%. That's the answer, number 3. What percent of people said no to pet? 45 out of 272. Okay, last one. Let's see, I don't have much room here. I'm going to have to just do it over here on the side. We'll use green. I haven't used much green yet. Last one, very important, probably the most difficult one to understand. I'm going to do my work up here for number 4. It says, what percent of people with no job have a pet? Most people make the mistake of making the whole amount out of 272. They did not say out of everybody. They did not say of people. They said of people with no job. They were more specific of who the whole amount was. People with no job, we go to no, it looks like the people with no job are here, right? In green. Let me see if I could clean this up a little bit. The people with no job are 185. That is our whole amount, 185. Those are the people with no jobs. literally just this row here. We can literally now ignore everything else for now. We don't need those numbers. We're only talking about the people with no job. Out of those people with no job, how many have a pet? Well, I go to pet, right? Yes to pet was this. No to job, but yes to pet is 153. That is the part. So out of the people with no job, the ones that do have a pet is 153. That's a lot of them. So let's divide that. 153 divided by 185 equals it equals 0.827. Once again, the 7 makes the 2 round up to 0.83, which equals 83%. That's pretty much the whole target, guys. Got to just, understand what they're actually asking for. I am going to attach a worksheet for you guys later.